off here. They're present here in yellow. Those are called podocytes. See the little word podocyte in parentheses near the top? See, it also says visceral epithelium. Notice next to it says capsular epithelium. And the whole thing says glomerular capsule.
Should we get our friends? Shane,
Okay, so we're gonna talk about what all this is. Notice next to that it says glomerular capillary. They're pointing to that little red stuff in between the purple. And then capsular space. So what's going on here? This thing with the covering over the glomerulus, because the glomerulus is the blood vessel part. So the covering, the podocyte, and this outer layer make up what's known as the glomerular capsule or the Bowman's capsule. Bowman's capsule is the old one. The podocyte, the layer that covers, they sometimes refer that to the visceral, almost kind of like the visceral peritoneum, the visceral epithelium, meaning the part of the Bowman's capsule that covers the capillary. And then they call this the capsular epithelium. The outer is almost like the parietal peritoneum. So remember in the stomach, or in the abdominal pelvic, they had a parietal and a visceral layer, and between the parietal and the visceral there was a cavity. There was a parietal peritoneum, a visceral peritoneum, and the peritoneal cavity. Well, same kind of idea. You have the capsular epithelium. You can't call it really parietal. Capsular epithelium, visceral epithelium, and a cavity in between.
In the book it says parietal, it doesn't say capsule.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then we can call it parietal. In what book?
The lab book.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Maybe they should get the new lab book.
So capsular and parietal are the same thing?
Yeah. I guess that's what they're using them interchangeably.
What's this thing?
That's part of the nephron.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry about it for now. Right? So same idea as kind of like the cavities of the abdominal pelvic. You have a layer covering the organ, but it's blood vessel. You have a layer that creates the wall, and in between you have the cavity. All right? Visceral. Book says parietal or capsular. The whole thing is called the Bowman's capsule, okay, or glomerular capsule. And it's in this cavity, in the space, that's where the filtrate, the fluid, will collect. That's where the fluid will collect. The filtrate that's going to leave the glomerulus. And then it's going to be channeled on. Okay, the cell, because remember the visceral component is made up of individual cells called podocytes. So these yellow cells, and you can see little blue nuclei, are the podocytes. So if I put a label on here and say yellow stuff, you can say podocyte. You can say visceral epithelium. I prefer podocyte, but whatever.
So which part would be the visceral epithelium then, if you prefer podocyte?
They're the same.
Oh, they're the same.
A podocyte is a single cell. Okay? All the podocytes together as a unit, as a sheet, visceral epithelium. The capsule is made up of individual cells. All the cells together make up the capsule epithelium or parietal epithelium. The space in between the two layers is the
Cavity.
cavity, capsular space. Now, you see in the picture, it's hard to see here, but you see in the picture that the edges of the cells are kind of like finger-like projections, and you can see the red through it, right? So those are the